and the world is now pulling the rug out from under the U.S. The dollar is going to collapse. The dollar is going to be replaced by gold. Central banks are buying gold to back up their currencies. True. They're getting rid of dollars. They're getting rid of treasuries. We are headed for an economic crisis, again, that will make the 2008 financial crisis look like a Sunday school picnic. The biggest difference between the crisis that we're about to have and the one we had back then is this one is all in America. It's not going to be exported to the rest of the world. It's not a global financial crisis. It's an American financial crisis.
30 days from today, March 11th, 2026. Mark it. That's the date. That's when the window closes. Because 6 days later, March 17th and 18th, the Federal Reserve holds its next meeting, the Federal Open Market Committee, 8 voting members, 1 decision. And that decision will determine whether the dollar resets gradually or collapses violently. Because here's what nobody's telling you. This isn't just another FOMC meeting. This is Jerome Powell's second to last meeting as Fed chair. His term expires May 15th, 79 days from now. Kevin Warsh has already been nominated to replace him, and once Warsh is confirmed, once Trump's hand-picked Fed chair takes control, the entire framework changes. The rules change, the priorities change, the dollar as you know it changes, permanently. But the March meeting is different, because Powell is still in charge, still defending Fed independence, still holding the line against political pressure, and in 30 days, at that March meeting, he'll face the most critical decision of his 8-year tenure. Cut rates aggressively like Trump demands, or hold firm and preserve what's left of the dollar's credibility, and whichever choice he makes triggers the reset. Cut too much? Inflation reignites, dollar craters. Foreign holders dump treasuries faster. Hold too long? Recession deepens, markets crash, political pressure becomes unbearable. Either path leads to the same destination, a fundamental restructuring of the dollar's role, not over years, over weeks, starting in 30 days. And if you're not positioned before March 11th, before that FOMC decision, you'll be caught on the wrong side of the biggest monetary shift since 1971. Let me prove it. This is the systemic revelation. This is the 4-stage dollar reset pattern. And March 17th is the trigger point, the moment when stage 3 becomes stage 4, when the slow decline becomes the fast collapse, when 38.56 trillion in debt, 1 trillion in annual interest, and 70 years of reserve currency privilege collide with reality. And reality doesn't negotiate, it resets. Violently, in 30 days, let's break it down. Stage 1, the foundation cracks, the fiscal math stops working. Every dollar reset begins the same way. The underlying fundamentals deteriorate so badly that pretending everything's fine becomes impossible. The debt grows too large, the deficit's too persistent, the interest payments too crushing, and eventually the math forces a choice, either restructure the currency or collapse. That's stage 1, the foundation cracks. And America hit this stage years ago. But March 2026 is when everyone admits it. Start with the debt. February 4th, 2026, $38.56 trillion. That's total U.S. national debt, up 2.35 trillion in 1 year, 6.43 billion per day, 267 million per hour, 4.46 million per minute, $74,000 per second. The debt is growing faster than GDP, faster than tax revenue, faster than any realistic economic growth rate, and it's accelerating, not slowing, accelerating, because the structural deficit isn't temporary, it's permanent and it's widening. Look at the Treasury's own projections. Released February 3rd, 2026, quarterly refunding statement. The Treasury expects to borrow $574 billion between January and March 2026. $574 billion in 3 months. That's $191 billion per month. The next quarter, April to June, another $109 billion. Total, $683 billion in 6 months. $1.4 trillion annualized. Every single year, forever. Because nothing in the budget is being cut. Nothing significant. Defense spending, up. Social Security, up. Medicare, up. And now interest payments, exploding. Interest on the debt crossed $1 trillion annually in 2026. $1 trillion. The fastest growing line item in the entire federal budget. Bigger than defense, bigger than Medicare, and compounding. Because when you owe $38 trillion and rates are at 3.5 to 3.75%, the interest alone adds $1.3 trillion per year. But that's just the beginning. Because as debt grows, as deficits persist, as foreign buyers walk away, rates must rise. Treasury yields have to increase to attract buyers. And when rates rise on $38 trillion, interest costs explode exponentially. Here's the math. $38 trillion at 4% interest equals $1.5 trillion per year. At 5%, $1.9 trillion. At 6%, $2.3 trillion. At 7%, 2.66 trillion. And these aren't hypothetical numbers. These are where yields go when confidence breaks, when foreign creditors exit, when the Fed loses control. Britain saw 7% yields in 2022. Italy routinely hit 6%.